Have you ever looked at your life, at your bank account, at your empty pockets, and just felt completely trapped? Have you ever had a dream so huge it felt foolish to even whisper it out loud? Maybe people have told you to be realistic. Maybe they've said, you don't have the connections, or you don't have the money to start. Maybe you've even started to believe them. What if I told you that the single greatest asset you possess, more valuable than any pile of cash, more influential than any network, is your mind? Today, we're going to step into the life of a boy who had absolutely nothing, yet achieved everything. His story is a powerful reminder that the size of your dream is the only real limit you will ever face. Stick with me, because this story isn't just about success. It's about the very moment he decided to flip the script on his destiny. Our story begins with a young man named Rahul, living in a small, dusty corner of the world. Rahul's pockets weren't just low on cash, they were completely empty, often for weeks at a time. His home was a small, rented room, and his job was cleaning tables at a busy roadside tea stall. Every morning, he would look at his reflection, a tired face, worn-out clothes, and the shame was a heavy cloak. People in his neighborhood had their paths set for them. Finish school if you could. Find a small, safe job. And never, ever aim for the stars. They called this wisdom. But every time Rahul heard this, a small, stubborn voice inside him argued back. He was tired of small lives and small thoughts. He used to sit for hours after his shift, sketching blueprints for a major international logistics company, a company he only had a name for in his notebook. His friends laughed. Rahul, they'd say, focus on buying a better pair of shoes first. One day, an old, quiet man who often came to the tea stall saw Rahul sketching. The man, a retired school principal, waited until Rahul was alone. "What are you drawing, son?" he asked. Rahul, embarrassed, hid the notebook. "Just silly dreams, sir." The old man smiled. "The only silly dream is the one you refuse to have. Rahul, you have a beautiful mind, but you are carrying a burden that is heavier than any debt. The burden of small expectations. Everyone around you has forgotten the magic of thinking big." This was the turning point. The old man didn't give him money. He gave him a fundamental principle. It told Rahul, your life will never exceed the size of the picture you hold in your head. When you have nothing, you have the ultimate freedom to think without limits. Your current reality is just a temporary address, not your final destination. Rahul realized his mistake. He had a big dream, but he was taking small, desperate actions. He decided he needed to stop focusing on the emptiness of his pockets and start focusing on the richness of his vision. He couldn't afford a college degree, so he spent his nights reading every book on business, logistics, and finance he could borrow from the public library. He couldn't afford an office, so he used the quiet hours at the tea stall, after cleaning, to call small local businesses. He didn't try to start his international logistics company right away. Instead, he thought, what is the smallest version of my big dream I can start today? He started by simply moving packages on his bicycle for the other shop owners who had no delivery service. He was reliable, it was polite, and he was always on time. He charged a small fee, just enough to save a tiny amount each week. He turned his empty pockets into a personal delivery service, the initial building block of his future empire. He was no longer a tea stall worker. He was the founder of a micro-delivery service. His title hadn't changed, but his mindset had. The journey was not easy. There were days his bike broke down, days he was soaked in the rain, and days his savings were wiped out by unexpected expenses. The critics came back, saying, "See, he should have just stayed at the tea stall." But Rahul had a shield. His belief in the big picture. He knew that every setback was just a lesson, not a defeat. He remembered the old man's words. The man who thinks small gives up at the first roadblock. The man who thinks big sees the roadblock as a detour to a better path. Over the next 5 years, that single bicycle became a scooter. The scooter became a small van, and the small local deliveries became regional contracts. He meticulously followed his original blueprint, but he executed it one persistent, focused action at a time. The growth wasn't overnight. It was the slow, inevitable result of a mind that refused to be defined by his starting circumstances. Today, Rahul's company is a recognizable name in the logistics sector. He is no longer the boy with empty pockets. He is a man who signs multi-million-dollar deals. But here is the most important lesson of all. His success was not the result of a sudden opportunity or a lucky break. It was the direct, measurable result of the day he changed the size of his thinking. He didn't wait for his circumstances to change before he thought big. He thought big, and that thinking forced his circumstances to change. The pocket was empty, but the mind was full of possibility. So, what is the size of your dream? Stop looking at the limitations and start designing the life you want. The power to transform your world isn't out there. It is already sitting between your ears. Take one small, focused step today, but let it be guided by the biggest vision you can possibly imagine. If this story ignited a fire in your mind, let me know by hitting that like button. And if you are ready to keep feeding your mind with powerful, life-changing lessons every week, then you need to be a part of our community. Go ahead and subscribe to DailyFire Mindset and join the people who are not letting their current reality define their future. Thank you for watching.